Pro League. We just wrapped up the first map there between G2 and Windigo, and we're going to be sliding straight into the second one. We have quite a few Dust 2s to play out tonight, but that was the first. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
The Dust 2, the one we just watched?
Yes. And Dust 2 in general.
Dust 2, obviously fun map to watch. You can see why. The map makes sense as well. There's short control, long control. CTs can change up the way they approach the round. So they go for 3A long at the start of the round. Do they go for 1 short, 2A long? We saw actually the adjustment for Windigo, where obviously G2 are rushing towards A long every single round. They started sending 3 players there. As soon as G2 realized that, Existence made the call. Started sending aggressive players towards A short to counter that. So there's a lot of chess game on a map like Dust 2. The reason being is obviously the map is so small, which means, you know, small, not mistakes, but small plays make a massive difference, right? And now we're on Overpass, a map where early map control isn't quite as easy as it is on Dust 2. We see a map where it's usually a long-winded round. It's usually a round where you take obvious map control at the start of the round, and then towards the 45, 50-second mark, depending on what you've seen, you go for that mid-round call.
Very true. We have a absolute abundance of it. Still a double bill of Dust 2s to come in our latest series of the day. We're almost ready to carry on with the first game at hand. Windigo versus G2. G2, they need to try and get as many points as possible, really, in the games they have left in Pro League. As it was a little bit of a shaky start from, and obviously they've been hoping they can try and start Operation Win. They at least get 3 points so far. If they can try and get all 6 from the series, it would be much more beneficial for them. As Windigo is a team that, when you look at it on paper, they should be beating. This is one of the ones that should be more in their favour.
Yeah, exactly right. On paper, this is a win for G2, very convincingly. Obviously, the last map nearly going to overtime would have meant 2 points gained if they had won in OT instead of regulation. However, losing earlier on Overpass versus LDLC, is that going to be shaking their confidence? As we saw, if they had lost that first map on Dust 2, my God, that would have been quite a poor day from them. Let's see if they can recover, though. As now with a 1-map victory, a very close one though, Jack. Windigo, can they bring it back on Overpass?
Well, let's find out, as we are going to be sliding into the pistol round. Windigo will be a T side, and G2 are going to be sat on the CT side here. So they try and take a little bit of map control, extending themselves out, heading over towards Monster. They're grouped up. And it can be that split push in towards the B site. Everyone slowly creeping up and getting into position, Snods, as we hit that minute mark.
Here it comes then. Play towards the B site. 2 Monster and 3 B short as body. Burning alive there. Will eventually succumb to the flames, as it is the 5 versus 3 Existence, railing out shots from above. But Heaven can't quite connect the shots to send people to hell. Blocker now pushing in towards CT lower. 1 and done, as it's now a 3 versus 2.
They put the bomb down, at least. Windigo, they're in position to try and pick this one up, and Existence, unfortunately, has made the wrong call there. Drops down and gets absolutely railed to bits. It's all up to Kenny S to save the day. He's had a 3K into this one, and it would need to be the ace, but they both push him at the same time. He did make it the quad kill, but couldn't get the flick over for the 5K. Unfortunate, as Windigo will pick up that round, but Kenny still carrying on that form from the first matchup.
Into that first round then, 4 kills from Kenny S. So far, 35 kills in 31 rounds being played out. So 1-0 for Windigo. Obviously, if you're G2, CT side now, losing it isn't quite as bad as it was before. Obviously, now $1,900 round loss bonus. So if they save here, they can go for the Molotovs, the AWP buys into round number 4. However, it's round number 2 right now, Jack. And this is the implication of the new change. $2,000 across the board. They're going to receive $2,400 into round number 3. Are we going to be seeing G2 go for a buy around rifles and no AWP?
Windigo into this one, slowly gaining map control. Majority investment into the SMGs, as it is 2 Galils that have been brought out as the actual rifle buy, just on Bubble and Blocker. And they are gaining that early map control, trying to steal control of toilets and long, and then make their move into this round. Existence just jump spotting, trying to find any information at all. But they've kept themselves at back, and eventually we'll be able to spot them out. Push comes around, lands the first tag, but Blocker finishes him off for the Galil. And this should be quite a rapid round, really. They're looking for the bomb plant and the clean house if they can try and save these weapons, or especially if ships can do something cheeky with this Mat 10.
Fishing for kills. As he racks up 600 with each one. Actual first kill was by Blocker, though. As the remaining CTs all stacked up here towards Connector. Punisher about to walk into a stacked Wonderland. Actually, they're towards B short. They're going to be going for the quad boost. Shox makes noise, though. Can bait by opening the door, force him to come down the steps. So far, it's all a wait and patient game as the first victim walks into the lights, and Ship's actually going to be winning out the duel there. And now they're going to be coming in towards B short. Obviously, these MAC-10s, they want to hunt for the kills. If you give away the MAC-10 or the SMGs, it's no biggie.
No one actually goes down as well, so they keep all the weapons. All things considered, that didn't work out too greatly there. The timing wasn't fantastic for the G2 players when they actually did walk down. As soon as they were spotted through the window on Connector, they were trying to reposition. It all just sort of went down from there. So Windigo keep their weapons. They get that second round as well, but the rebuy now comes out for G2. But already there's a tag. Shox. I think he's been stagged by his teammate, Body. He's butchered him a little bit, which isn't great.
Wouldn't be the first time. NAS onto the AWP. So I made the question, are G2 going to buy round number 3? Obviously, it's very apparent they have. And I said, 5 rifles. However, with KNS getting 4 kills on the pistols, it does allow him to have an AWP and no Kevlar into this one. So it's not the worst scenario here for G2. KNS and Shox. Oh, actually, is KNS in existence now? That's a change. So, new dynamic then for the CT side of G2 on Overpass. And now Shox is an anchor towards B.
Yeah, Shox will support towards the B site. Trying to play close towards Monster. The entire team is going to challenge him as he glides up, surfs back down, but gets slapped by the tidal wave, and it does fall just like the Punisher now, and a 1-on-2 as he gets the headshot off and takes down Smith's going to be switching out, grabs the Famus as well. 45 seconds left on the clock, and recover the bomb. And he's still in it to win it. Definitely isn't out of the round just yet. Molotov in his back pocket as well. As time starts to tick away, Ignite short to deny it as an angle of attack, spots out the player towards upper, but can't quite muster it up, and Kenny S will force the issue, take the peak, and take down Punisher. So G2 win their first round, but it's quite close, only having 2 players surviving there.
Obviously the AWP being one of them, and now Kenny S can invest into the Kevlar, can get more aggressive. Good round there from G2. But yeah, interesting to see. Shox now playing towards the B site, definitely unexpected. Shox and Kenny S's dynamic towards the A site was very effective prior, but obviously maybe not effective enough. Maybe there are issues towards the B site that had to be plugged. Obviously you move that firepower. If you have your 2-star players, both Kenny S and Shox playing the same site, does it take away from firepower towards B? Well, speaking of that star player capability, there it is in full force. Collateral towards the B short tunnel, and now it's into the 2 versus 3. But not for long, Jack.
Oh, this is awkward. The response is good from the T so far. Blocker with the early entries, he gets the headshot off. However, Smiths has just been able to handle them both very, very well. Brings Blocker down to just 5 HP, nearly gets the frag though. Existence only barely survives that one, so it might be the 2-2 split now in the rounds. Well, it's definitely not dominant for either side.
Windigo now. Oh, actually going to be going for the force buy. Saw $3,000 across the board instead of saving, buying up into round number 6. They are going to be going for the fully fledged buy. The reason being is, Jack, it was only Existence surviving that last round. They know that the CT economy is supple and ready to be broken, and the round loss bonus is going to be reset, and with a start like that, maybe it will be. 5 versus 4. Smiths goes for the same play Kenny S did in the last round, and of course Windigo are going to be expecting it.
Shox. Waiting for the timing here.
Reminds me of that pistol ace he got a while ago, but anyway, he gets the first one. 4 versus 4.
He's going to be traded back, so he doesn't get the first frag. Ships will be able to eliminate him with the AK. And it is now a 3-on-4, and the entire T-side team groups back up, goes to the Wolfpack, rotate around towards that B site. The bomb slowly lurking as well, as Blocker just holds the angle. Expected potentially the push up through the tunnels by Body. And they arrive on the scene towards B. Existence spots out a couple of toes as he goes for the quick peek. Has the smoke to buy himself a little bit of extra time. They are going to push straight through it, though. Didn't expect it, and Punisher has taken him down. They've got complete control of the B site now. Kenny S, he would have to do something absolutely insane to be able to open this one back up.
Body, though, brings this one back into contention for G2. This was the risky force buy from Windigo, and it could very well pay off. Body, though, with another one. 2 versus 2 as this Kenny S towards heaven as well. Bomb ticking away. No defuse given CT side. Maybe there's one drop, but they have to hope for that. As the smokes and utility is going to be dished out by Body, but he's alone now into the 1 versus 1. And through the wood pallet there as well. A headshot onto Victor. Phenomenal retake there from him. 4 kills as he smites them down 1 by 1. 3 rounds now for G2. Once again, falls back to the exact same philosophy here for Windigo. 1 player alive, bomb was planted. Let's go for a force.
Yeah, big plays coming through. Body absolutely sublime as he lands that shot. That's a huge round to win as well for G2, keeping them in the game. As the rebuy will come back out, Kenny still having that AWP in play, which is a big investment for him to stay locked onto. Windigo, mostly Galils. It's only really 2 AKs that are brought into this round and a very restricted amount of utility.
Yeah, just 2 smokes remaining with a minute 35 seconds left on the clock, but at least they got an advantage in terms of manpower. Shox goes down, having quite an off game. He's past 2. Body, though, brings it back. It feels like all the highlights I see a Body are on Overpass, B bomb site.
Yeah.
Maybe they just have some affiliation with it, we don't quite know, but tag is one onto Punisher. So they're going to be walking up towards B short.
Ooh, Body, you could see tried to go for the face, but he was so blind, wanted to duck his head down and at least stay alive, but he couldn't even achieve that. He will be found and eliminated, and so will his teammates, leaving it all up to Existence. Big Kev can't really do too much. He is just going to get away. If he can at least hold on to what he has with him here, it wouldn't be the worst outcome in the world, but their economy is shocking at this point. It's not. They're going to really left strapped for cash. And Windigo, this could be the start of something new for them if they can build from this position.
So, that philosophy has eventually paid off. They win the round with the force buy. You can see blocker there onto a Galil. And money was tight, especially in terms of the utility. Shox. Poor game last one. Managed to get carried by Kenny S. Obviously, the whole team pretty much did. 9 kills for him in 30 rounds. Obviously, here he is on 4. It's not about the kills, though, Jack. It's about the uncharacteristic mistakes and the misses and the whiffs. Used to seeing Shox as a top 20, sometimes top 10 player in the world when he is at his peak. We need to see some more of that if G2 want convincing wins here, because to be completely blunt, Jack, these are the games where G2 build confidence in the league. They get their 16-5, 16-7s, they go forward, and then they play versus your Astralis, your phases, and you have confidence and back them up. Right now, they're just not selling it for me.
Well, 3-3. G2 got a little bit more aggressive as they know they only have the pistols to play with. So they're trying to play the more aggro angles. Existence playing close by the tree as well towards long with a little bit of support from Kenny S from the CZ. Bubble could be flashed out here and try and go for the face, but instead they just peek it dry. They're both going to walk out, but they've already got a huge tag off. Kenny S and Existence are dispatched in a matter of seconds, and that is pretty much all the defense that the A site had gone. Now the entire rotate has to come around from B.
All 3 players towards the A site, though, from G2. Smith with the Deagle may get first contact here, but he is being baited for by Body. Push coming in. Bubble going to be lining these players up. Actually, no. 2 early kills with the Deagles. Another one as well from Shox. So 2 versus 2 now. The bomb dropped towards long. And M4 in the hands of Body. Ooh, unfortunately, though, it's all down to him. No Kevlar.
Body, the 1 versus 2, tags up the first. He's going to be smoked off as he falls back and ships straight through the smoke, just barrels in and eliminate him. He's going to be Windigo getting themselves up onto the 4th round now as they start to get themselves a little bit of momentum. Going to be feeling the excitement. They can rebuy up into it as well. Same cannot be said for G2, however.
Full eco from the French side. Just the flashbang investment there from Shox. Apart from that, Deagle, PT50s across the board. 5-7 for body, actually very good with that weapon. We see Oscar use it. Blocker in the last game use it. Body as well. Somebody does wield that 5-7 over the CZ. Honestly, post-nerf to the CZ is still the best weapon. It's definitely the most common one. But bomb left in towards T-Spawn. This is a signal that Windigo want to play a slow-paced round here. They know that G2's money is going to be lack thereof. Therefore, they play it slow. They wait for any aggression from the CT side. They can slowly clear out these angles as a group. They can trade the frags. They can monitor out the certain positions that they need to. And therefore, they can greatly reduce the risk of losing it.
Ooh. Kenny S gets the early contact. Immediately has to try and just dive out of there as the early tag does come through. Existence on the close range angle with support of body. They will only get one as the trade comes back around, but luckily the flashbang assists them, and the kills are being picked up by them. The P250 swarm as they are just punishing these Ts. Smiths grabs the AK as well and tried to slay them all. It doesn't go great for him. Body going to be trading out. Grabs the AK, but the T players have been able to just dive down and go for the rotate back around towards the B site. He's got an inkling into this though, realizes such. Starts to rotate around. Still 17 seconds left on the clock. His body will slowly move in. Try and go for this crunch. It's a 1 versus 2. He's got the smoke, he's peering around. Can be an absolute artist with the AK at times, but will be able to paint a pretty picture into this round as he doesn't realize the player that is on upper has full vision towards him. So Blocker can just slay down, stop body having any chance into the round. So Windigo do still pick that one up, even though it was quite costly.
Smoke fading. Unlucky timing there for body. Obviously had no armor as well, so very unlikely he was to win that round. So round number 9 then. Once again we enter the buy round. AWP for Bubble. We saw the AWP onto a few players in the last one from Windigo. Bubble AWPing a couple of rounds, Blocker AWPing a couple of rounds, seen it onto Ships as well. Obviously Ships coming from B Pro was a primary AWPer back then. Actually back during the European minor, Jack, if you remember casting Windigo, Ships was the AWPer, 17 years old back then. Now he's a much more mature player, more well-rounded player. That's exactly what Windigo need. AWP from Kenny S, going to be holding the off angle here. Very good at countering AWPers actually. As they peek towards the flower pot, they don't see anything there. They push up to go peek in towards the site. They walk straight into his hands. And we might actually get it right here, Jack. AWP in the hands of Bubble, but Kenny S is looking close towards the long toilets. Timing not in his favor.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for him as the trade's there as well. Victor instantly bounding through the smoke, finds the headshot on Existence, and it is a 5 versus 3. The 3 players are on the site and not in great positions. Either they really haven't had time to, and when Shock swings wide, he just gets put into a coffin. And it all comes down to body in a 1-on-5. A ace would need to occur for him to win this one. He has no real chance, and it's just going to be a matter of time before it is taken for the side of Windigo. That will make it a 6-3 scoreline as well. And Body, he's still going to have a hard-pressed moment to even save this M4.
They know he's somewhere towards B. Punisher clearing out towards T-Spawn. Blocker gets a whiff, catches a scent, and ascends to 12 kills. So, strong performance in both these matchups from him. He was the silver lining in the last one along with Ships in terms of fragging ability. 3-6 then. Pause coming in.
It's G2.
G2, okay.
Yeah.
So obviously they're on eco now.
Technical pause, as they do have an issue.
Well, ignore the 30 seconds then. They are onto an eco here, Jack, so high chance we see Windigo get to 7 on the board. And on the T side as well, especially when G2 lose the pistol. They win the first buy round, they get reset. They win a buy round again, they get reset again, and it just... I think Ezio was trying to show us the rounds to show the resets, but I think it's been removed.
Well, he's just showing us the utility damage stuff there. Yeah, it doesn't show up in panorama sometimes for some reason on like GoTV. You can't ever see it. It's a bit annoying.
Yeah. Anyway, the point's still there, right? G2 have been reset twice now. Because of that, they've been onto pistols, onto weak buys, and once again, that story is true in round number 10. So, looking good for Windigo. Obviously, they're versus pistols again. They can win convincingly, try get to $10,000 or $9,000 to a point where if they lose multiple rounds in a row, they can continuously buy and apply pressure to G2. Overall, for T side from Windigo compared to the last one, when they were down 13-8, the Bulgarians look good.
Well, here we go then, into round number 10. Windigo, they currently have a 3-round lead over G2. G2, just with the investment into the P250s and the Deagles, they have one flashbang on body as well. So they can try and go for a burst over if they want to. Smokes are coming in, body going to get ready as he pops the flash, they'll all charge through, the extension comes around, but Shocks falters, gets taken down. Kenny at least grabs himself the Kalashnikov, but can he slay anyone with it? As he has been detected, gets off a big tag, but no real frag, leaving Bubble alive on just 19 HP, and Smiths is the only one that remains for the CT side.
Indeed he is. Only one Deagle as well, so good rally from Windigo. 4 players still alive, so in terms of their economic situation, it's only going to further in their lead. It's going to go 7-3. Smiths is playing for exit kills here, spotting towards outside monster. Well, you can see how, I don't want to say scared Windigo are, but risk adverse. Obviously not taking any chances, as Smiths can use the Deagle.
Well, at least he gets one, so it is a kill. They're still a little bit worried about leaving this area open as well, investing so much utility just in case Smiths was going to try and come back through and return a strike from the rear. Instead now we'll just back off. So Windigo should be picking up their 7th round here. Their T side's been looking pretty effective against G2 on Overpass. And they can still split this series. They can both walk away with 3 points each. So Windigo, they're really going to be fighting tooth and nail to at least try and secure at minimum those 3 points.
TRTO, the road to Odense. Odense? Odense?
Odense.
Odense. So, 7-3. Into another buy round we go. G2. You can see us looking at their cash as well. They cannot afford to be reset again, otherwise Windigo can even get to double digits on their T half. Ooh, spots the movement there, I believe, from Punisher. Can't quite capitalize off of it though in time, as he will be falling back now towards Banana. Spots out towards the jump peak, as instead Windigo go flooding towards A long. Rotation from Existence towards the B site, so they're putting all their eggs in the B bomb site basket. So, does Kenny S hear these steps? I don't think he has. His Existence is still here towards B.
Kenny, if he fell back towards the site now and got into a position to at least defend long, it would work out well for him. The timing is so tragic. Just as he starts to reposition, the entire squad bursts out. Luckily, they had Existence there to find 2 critical kills to give them an extra bit of an edge. Bubble responds back with the orb, however, and they fall into a 2-on-3. And Punisher just cuts off the rotate so blissfully. Smiths is gone, and it's all on body to save the day. Can he bail him out? Peeks out, gets first as he tags up one man with the M4. The bomb still hasn't gone down, but he himself will now hit the deck. And Windigo have secured themselves an 8th round already.
Once again then, G2 are left with pistols. It is quite hard to watch, really, some of this Counter-Strike. Just seeing, obviously, Existence going for the call towards the B site. Kenny S left alone towards A. We know that Windigo played a very slow, passive game, so Existence thinks he can get away with those sorts of shenanigans early on into the round. But Windigo have a very good call. Exploit that, walk up A long, catch Kenny S in transition. as he makes his way back towards the site, and the round's over immediately. Oh, into the now. Smith's pushing forward on the Molotov. Risky play there. Misses the shot onto Victor. Victor doesn't miss it back. Existence with 1. 4 versus 4 as the bomb is dropped towards T-spawn, and yeah, Blocker's going to hear that. Easy kill for him.
Yeah, it's all starting to fall to pieces now as well. It's just Kenny S and Body that remains. Make it just Body, as Kenny has been spammed up through the mesh there by Victor. Body shouldn't be really surviving for too long, as he is, at least on the A site. You can still see how slow Windigo are playing this, just barely moving up. Again, on a 4 versus 1 situation. This has to be their 9th round, and they are going to make the play towards the B site. That'll be a free bomb plant, and should be a free pickup for them here, making it a 9-3 scoreline. And if they can keep this up, this T half could be absolutely dominant.
Most definitely. Obviously, they've already won the half. Body now the last remaining player from G2. Will save his Kevlar and 5-7 flashbang as well for the next round. Silver lining here for G2 as they will have a buy up into this next round, round number 13. Is it too late, Jack? I'm not sure. It's going to be 9 rounds now for Windigo. If they win the second half pistol on the CT side and win those conversion rounds like we saw them do on Dust 2, obviously it doesn't have the same impact as it does before. It's no longer 3 rounds, it's 2 instead, but even then, it's just all going in their favor.
Ooh. Body unfortunately doesn't get that kill either, so Victor will go down to the bomb blast at least, but he did survive the initial firefight. Now, round 13, 9-3 is the scoreline. The rebuy will come through. Kenny S on the AWP. The rest of them appearing to just be going for the rifle buy, and Kenny, what has he got to show us now? Can he flex those AWP muscles?
Obviously, 31 kills in that last map, maybe 20 of them close to that coming from the AWP. Not really a statistic that you can replicate. So Windigo look very comfortable here on Overpass. Existence now playing towards long. Not going to be leaving them. Not going to be making the same mistake and leaving Kenny S alone towards A. Front toilet smoke deployed by Windigo. Molotov in towards Banana, forcing back Kenny S. You may see desperation here from Kenny S actually. Obviously, we've seen poor play earlier on from the team of G2. At what point does Kenny start taking some big risks? And there's one of them. Flashed up in no man's land. Because now we see a very passive setup here from these teams. Shock's playing quick rotate towards Heaven, towards the A side. Kenny S now searching for that first frag to try and turn the head in favor for his team. Very slow play here from both these teams, Jack. Complete opposite to what we saw on Dust 2.
Yeah, it's been much slower in terms of the tempo. Slow and steady will win the race if they carry on like this. Bubble. He would have been spotted on the jump face, but he too gets the information from them going for the jump spot. He now knows who's on the site. He spots out one player. Kenny S through the smoke as well. Takes down Blocker, which is a great response. Can he get any more as the swarm is coming through? The floodgates are open. Shox kills Kenny S and then gets traded back by Victor. Possibly the worst case scenario of confusion on that site. Existence with one, trying to double it down, but can't do it. And it all falls into the hands of Smiths and Body, left now in a 2 versus 2.
Body has been so pivotal for G2 in these retakes, and he's showing us exactly why. Crucial, impactful frag after each other. And now it's into the 1 versus 1. Bubble knows that Body's onto low HP, so one shot from the Deagle will take him down as he spams the smoke. Eventually going to be cementing that last frag and cementing double digits here for Windigo. 10-3, Jack. We've seen it time and time again that when the underdog has a big lead, obviously it was Space Soldiers versus Astralis and Inferno. Space Soldiers with the big lead. They throw it away versus Astralis to lose it in overtime. Windigo now, the 7-round lead, 10 rounds on your T side. Surely this isn't one they can let slip.
You never know. Counter-Strike, anything can happen. It can always come down to the randomest moments. The early nades, though, doing a fair bit of damage. Kenny S is forced to retreat as they will explode near him. Blocker gets one headshot off as takes down Body. this is where the round begins to slow down ever so slightly. Windigo, they've already got the first pick. What more can they find?
It's a good question. First pick is obviously a good one. And a big player to take out of it as well. What?
Fair enough. He's lined them up. He's knocked them both down. Existence going beak there into the round.
Yeah, that's a somber way of putting it. 2 kills for him towards Banana. Suddenly, this round's in favor of G2.
It's a good spot. Can G2 keep it going? 3 versus 4. Blocker. What mischief can he start to unleash upon the site? What havoc can he run through with them? As he does get one. Spotted by his teammate in Bubble as well. That's found a headshot over to Kenny S. It's just Shocks and Smiths that remain. The 2 versus 3. The retake from the rear. Shocks will kill Bubble. Redeems himself for killing his teammate as the previous one. But can they still win this round? It's 2 versus 2. And there's not too much time left to play with. We're hitting about that halfway mark now.
Once again, all down to the clutch. Smoke on the bomb. Molotov will be extinguished as Shocks taps it. Doesn't stick it though. Punisher spamming through the smoke, trying to connect the shots. Time is very low. There's no defuse kit. Shocks. The round goes in favor. Sound like a broken record here of Windigo. 11-3. This isn't looking good here for G2. A team with the recent performances they've had. To see them now in this state isn't really pretty.
No, it's a little bit rough, and this is the fact as well that Windigo might actually be able to get themselves into a 12-3 half now at the minimum, which could be outrageous. It would be so easy to shut this game down once their moves over to their CT side. If this does occur, is it going to be 12-3?
Obviously, we factor in as well the 2-0 loss earlier versus LDLC. Existence former team. So, 11-3. Shocks with the forward position here towards the A site. Kenny S is with the FAMAS towards default. So this is individual plays here as he spots the bomb. At least that's one. Traded out though swiftly by Victor. And now you could say Windigo are the victor of this exchange. 4 versus 4, definitely favouring Windigo.
Yeah, it's looking like it. 11-3 into this matchup. This is the last round of the first half, and there is 4 players alive on either side, but what are they actually going to get up to? Windigo, they're all grouped up outside of B, slowly getting into position to possibly just walk their way down up close towards Monster. As Body does go for the early jump face.
50 seconds remaining. 3-man stack towards A from G2, and it's a 4-man stack towards B from Windigo. Once again, they have the upper hand in this matchup. Body with the FAMAS is the last line of defense for G2 towards the B side. Tries to slow them down with smoke, just gets spammed and eventually taken care of through it. Victor again, so strong this map.
It's just Smiths, Kenny S, and Existence that are left alive. Smiths taking the firefight, but Kenny S actually saves the day for them as he goes huge into the round. It's now all up to Existence though, a 1 versus 2. Make it the 1-on-1 as he finds the headshot flick up to Blocker. Punisher needs to plant the bomb or frag out here, as he will try and bait him in. Works very well. Existence fell for it, peeked out. He gets the headshot off with the AK and brings it up to a 12-3 scoreline. A very, very one-sided first half there.
Unexpected to say the least. 12-3 in favour of Windigo. You've got to say fair play. You've got to take your hat off to them as well. Very, very strong calling here from Windigo on their T side. Felt like each and every time Existence would call a stack, Windigo would be going to the opposite side. Obviously, a perfect example of that was that last round. Now, where'd you go for G2? Obviously, the pistol is paramount for a chance. Just a chance to come back into this one. Even then, it's the nerfed pistol round to win, so it's no longer 3 rounds with the conversions included. It's now going to be 2. Yeah, Jack, obviously... It's a tough call. Interesting to see what the betway odds would be right now.
Yeah. That is true, because obviously quite favoured towards G2 at first, whereas Windigo looking very, very dominant here in the first half. And as you said, the pistol rounds can't really be predicted too much in favor of how they used to be, where if you won the pistol, you're expected to take those conversion rounds pretty much the majority of the time. Now, on average, it can really go either way. If a CT side wins the pistol round, they might not even win the second round. It could easily just be reset if the T side wants to chase with the economy. So, always quite up in the air. 12-3. Where does it go from here? What will G2 bring into the server for this one?
Bubble. Early exchange there with Kenny S. We'll spot him out. No bomb has been seen just yet, so the game plan from G2 hasn't been revealed. As the smoke is lined up by Smiths. Double flashbang as well, so they've got the utility to come in towards the side, but do they have the firepower?
Well, there goes the early flashbangs to try and give them that opportunity to attack. Victor, very, very low. Ships as well, taking some heavy hits, but they still go for the peaks. Luckily, Blocker popping off with the USP as he gets the double down. Bubble as well, going to find one back over towards Shocks. And it is now the 2-on-2 Snods, but they have spooked the CTs, spooked the Ts rather, as they've started to fall back. Kenny S has gone for the entire loop around up towards the A site, but the timing is everything, and Bubble is crisp.
Pops him.
Like a grape under his foot.
The reference was as a bubble being popped?
No, like a grape, mate.
Okay, like a grape. Just going to be Smiths now. Blocker blocks his chance in towards that B bomb site. 13-3, Jack. 10-run advantage for Windigo. This isn't a best of 3. There's no third map. Seems like a swift second.
That is true, but you do have to factor in the changes with the pistol round. So as we spoke about, what do we see G2 do? Last time when they were in this position, they did force. This time, they are just going to go for a light investment. So only 2 Deagles being purchased. I'm not sure how I feel about it, Snods. It's still, I don't know, it feels like it's not worth it a lot of the time to even really buy anything. It can be a weird one. I mean, for the majority of it on that T side, if you can just get a bomb plant down, that's better than anything. But then again, you are giving a Deagle to Shoxy. You know what you can achieve with a weapon.
Wow. 5 versus 4. That advantage is going to be nullified by Ships as he goes for more with the UMP. Spots out 2 players in towards connect to the bomb. Coming in from behind. Existence, if it goes down, will leave the bomb alone. And there you have it. Windigo can swarm around it, put up a quarantine around it as well, and they have a chance to win it. It's going to be Kenny S in the 1 versus 3. Does find one nice kill there, but apart from that, 14-3. 11-round advantage, 2 rounds away for Windigo. G2 looking mentally, well, out of it. It looks like they're mentally tapped out of this one.
14-3. G2 struggling, but they do now have the cash to reinvest. The AK is going to be coming through, armor across the board, they have utility as well. What can they really do with this? What are G2 going to be showing us now into this matchup? Punisher takes a fair bit of damage early on from the grenade that is going to airburst above him, rotates around and gets that first kill off of his MP9, and they are just playing with such raw aggression. G2 did not expect it one bit, and that is probably the most rapid round we've seen into this matchup this far. Windigo get themselves on match point. And unfortunately for G2, they are going to be strapped for cash. I mean, 2,900 being the average, Nons, it's not fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they can go for the AK buys, obviously. But even then, in terms of utility and armor, it's going to be weak. Yeah, Shocks, Kenny S, they will drop over 2 AKs, but no armor for them. Just Deagles to work with. Scout for Smiths, 2 AKs were dropped for Existence and Body. 15-3. This game has been swift. Ooh, HE as well. Shock said no armor, so that damage is going to be even more exemplified. 50 HP remaining for him. One of the AKs already taken out of the round. Ships finds that one onto Body. Yeah, this is looking like a 16-3.
Yeah, you can't help but feel like it is going to go that way, as right now it is all going wrong. Everyone is being punished on that side of G2. It is only Shocks that remains alive with 50 HP. The rest of his team still on 100 HP. Smiths actually does find the first headshot though. Punishes Bubble at the very least to bring it back into a 4 versus 4 here. A minute on the clock. Where do they go from here? Smoke's going to go over. Ooh. Spam goes down. They do try and get that first shot off. Blocker. The AK in his hands towards the site. Can he keep them at bay if they do commit and go for this full push in towards the bomb site? As of right now, it's still a bit of a stalemate. Moving their way back over towards shorts, Nods.
Yeah, nice little angle here. Spot out towards the sandbags. Play coming in towards the B side. Perfect flashbang, but a perfect position for Ships to only find one. Blocker's there to help, though. Shocks in existence. Both players have no Kevlar. Very important thing to note here on this afterplan as they have to land the instant headshots, and the combination of the HE grenade and the AK bullets will be leaving Shocks to a 1 versus 1. 2.
Shoxy, can he pick it up? 1 on 2. Oh, the big spam. Actually, Punisher kills himself. He was so low from the spam that the airdrop onto the floor will finish him, and Shocks gets the tag off but couldn't convert it. Blocker will be able to keep himself alive and well, and that is Windigo taking the game, as they will be able to split the series. Both teams walking away with 3 points each. For Windigo, that is a good result. For G2, you can't help but feel like something's going wrong. Something just isn't quite there.
Yeah, it's very true. Obviously, it's a draw, but in terms of what these teams get out of it, it's very, very different ends. G2 are going to be very disappointed with that draw. Windigo, as you said, very happy with that. Obviously, it does, I don't want to say avoid, not avoid relegation, but it adds to that sense of freedom where they don't have to be so stressed about avoiding the auto relegation, avoiding playing the playoffs against the MDL teams as they qualified through themselves only last season. So getting wins versus G2, wins versus teams like Space Soldiers, etc. There's one map wins, one map victories, which obviously pay dividends later on in the season.
That's the thing. I mean, the more 3 points you can steal from teams that should really be beating you, the better, right? As long as even if you're splitting these series, it doesn't really matter, as you're just putting yourself into a good position, at least to stay at the middle of the pack when it comes to the later point in the season. For Windigo, whatever they can get out of this first season of Pro League is obviously going to be good for them. As of right now, it is just avoiding relegation that will be on the top of their list of what they hope to achieve. But that is the series wrapped up. G2 versus Windigo goes in favor of either side, splitting both maps. Dust 2 being a win for G2 and Overpass being a win for Windigo. That is the end of our first series, but there is still more to come. 2 more best of 2s tonight, and we'll be back in with the second after the break. For the meantime, we'll leave you with the highlights.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.